Okay, so it's been a while since I've done a radio video. This radio just came in, my latest eBay find. It came in knobless. We've got some knobs here we're going to put on, and then we've got some batteries that we took out of another radio. They don't belong directly in here, but we're going to see if we get this thing to work. If this radio does work, we will create batteries for it, because that's what I like to do. I like to have all my radios powered up and working. So let's see what we got. We also have a tube tester here. I don't know if the tubes are good or bad. We don't test them until after we try to play it, because if it plays, I don't care the condition of the tubes. I don't care if they're weak or not. If it plays, it plays. Okay, she's a working radio. I didn't do anything. I did nothing at all but power it up. She's a working radio. So let's build power for it. Let's make batteries. Okay, so the first step was verifying that it works. It does. Second step was I found a set of knobs that fit on it. I don't have the right knob. You see that? That's where the dial pointer would be, and it's a shame that it's discolored, and I don't have anything that will fit there. I can sort of make something, which I might. So hang tight. Okay, I made up this knob. I don't know if the numbers are correct, but anyway, there you go. It does look pretty cool though. I drilled out a knob face I had for my junk radio, inserted that knob into it, and it looks cool. As to whether it lines up or not, I don't know. We'll find out. Because I work on these radios, I save a lot of things. I'm going to try to modify this to be my power connector. So let's see if that's going to work. And yes, that modification will work. Sometimes you get lucky and these cases open up real easy, like this one did. See that? And there are your internals. We're going to salvage this. These are 1.5 volt cells. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, and then half of 5 times 5. So right here, 7.5. We're going to throw that in the garbage. This is the glue I use to reinstall these connectors when we're all done. Okay, so we soldered our connections. We soldered down here because we're going to be omitting that cell there. Remember, 7.5, this holds 6. 6 would be 9 volts. Let me get some batteries, and then we're going to do some testing and make sure that this is electrically sound before we glue it in the box. Okay, my pack is assembled. You notice there's a missing battery there, but we are showing good on the scale, which means that my soldering job was good, and it's time to get that into that empty box. Now keep in mind, I can't go out and buy one of these. They don't make them anymore. So I have to do what I have to do in order to recreate this battery if I want to make this radio play portably. These will actually have more capacity than the originals. That's right. These will actually last longer than the originals would. This technology, alkaline technology, was not available when these radios were made. These radios were made in the late 50s, early 40s, and alkaline technology came out in 1959. Transistor radios started in 1957. So they never made these batteries in alkaline, although there was a little bit of overlap where they could have, they never did. So let's get back to our assembly. I'm going to put you down again. Okay, so I bought these miniature rubber bands that they use for hair and for beards. And I use them to keep these batteries closed while they glue. This tacky glue will set up pretty darn quick. We don't have to stay here overnight, but it'll set up pretty fast. But anyway, this is our completed cell. And she looks pretty good. That's a little glue I got on there with my fingers, but it's not going to be anything that's going to harm anything. But that battery is assembled and gluing, and we'll be ready to install it shortly. It's always good to verify your connections one more time. And I want you to see 7.5 volt scale all the way to the edge of good. Okay, so our connections have been made, and we can tell that they're working. Yellow is positive, black is negative, so that part of our job is done. And now a period correct in appearance battery is residing in the correct position of the radio. Now it's time to rebuild this bad boy. I buy these dead batteries on eBay. I pay quite a bit of money for these dead batteries just to be able to rebuild them and make them live again. We got a very lucky break. It slid right out of the tube without any issue. I'm not going to sit here and count them, but these are 1.5 volt cells, and together they make up 90 volts for a 90 volt pack. So I'm retaining these old cells as a spacer. I am throwing those in the garbage, and I'm going to install these right in front of them, filled with 3 volt cells. So let me show you what we're going to do. First, I cut most of the spring out so I can fit more cells. See that? See how I cut the spring? I'm going to do the same on that side. Then begin to fill these with 3 volt cells. CR2032 3 volts. Okay, there's 66 volts right there. It shows good on the 67.5 volt scale, but that's 66 volts. Okay, so here's my finished pack. You can see I am almost to the end of the line on the 90 volt scale. It wouldn't matter. This thing will run all the way down to like 45 volts. So I use this 1AA battery as a spacer in there because otherwise I would have to do something else as a spacer. I should be adding one more battery in there, a 1.5 short. That's why I'm there. So instead of 90, what do I got? I got 90 less 1.5. So 90 less 1 would be 89. I got 88.5. Believe me, the radio won't know the difference. We were playing it before when we tested it on 67.5. And you heard the volume was just fine. So this radio will not know that it's being shortchanged. If you don't tell, I won't tell. It's not going to know. A little tape to make sure that they don't fall out. We'll do the same on the other. And now it's time that we solder up the connections. Okay, our connections are good, but I do notice one thing. That connector is all flattened out. Hopefully we can fix that because it ain't going to snap on like that. It isn't going to snap on like that. Oh boy, let's try to fix that now. Well, I did the best I can repairing that. Let's see how everything works out. Okay, so as you can see, 90 volt scale on this battery, looking good. So there you have it.
It is the Jesse Kelly Show
Running
on a Wednesday.
Period correct looking batteries.
Something so bad, I don't even care what it is.
Meanwhile, President Donald Trump is calling for RICO charges against the subversive network run by CBS interview. You can still find it online, which Soros says that the high point of his life was when he was collaborating with the Nazis to help them track down Jews in the systematic Holocaust that took place.
We can clean it up later. It's nice to the piece. We built an knob for it.
And refusing to properly investigate.
We built batteries for it.
Right, the kid is screaming and yelling. But if you give in and keep spending money to keep that kid from screaming, you